So for me to make my application now, I will need to have some files set up, okay, in here. So the first file I need to have is server.js. So I will explain whatever is happening in here. So this server.js is where we will store everything. Our main backend logic will be here. This is where everything takes place, in our main backend. So I need to create others. So here we need the models, right? So I will explain what models are. We need the models. So inside the models is where we keep our data structure, okay? I made it out of here. Let me draw it in. Move. So it is where our data structure is. For example, what you are creating, is it if you have users, like where you define the data type that goes to the database and what returns from the database, those are models, right? So you have to describe them. What kind of data has to go? So the next thing we talk about is the route. So the next one we have is the route. So here we have to create route. So for the early people who started MainStack, this one, or node development, this very route, sometimes you can call it controllers, sometimes you can call it controllers, routes, whatever. It's the same. It is the same. So while we have created all of this, I would like us now to go to our server, right? Inside this one. Before we start, there are certain things we need to use. We will use Express. We haven't installed Express yet. We need MongoDB because we need to connect to our database, right? We haven't done it yet. So we need it as well. And then we need one more thing, which is calls. So calls, eventually it helps to take data from front end to the back end. So it connects. So there are certain times you see errors like calls are not allowed, okay? So, or call restrictions. It's all about this. Hello Sora, welcome. So you can see like calls are not allowed. These are some of the things that make calls not to be allowed, because it gives permission, like, okay, you are allowed to communicate to the back end, you are not allowed, restrictions. So first of all, we need to install them. So we say npm install express space mongoose space, and then we'll calls, right? These three for now. So we hit enter and then we just wait for a while. So we wait for a while. So this computer is actually a new setup I made, okay? While waiting, I decided to take this setup from scratch, so I show you something. We need MongoDB community. Okay, you see it is installing and it has added some things. So if you look here, you see it is installing. But I made a mistake with calls, so we just have to do npm install calls. Okay, and we hit enter again. Let's begin with our back end. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we say const. So we are doing our back end, right? Const express is equals require express, and then const we need the database. So say const mongoose require Mongos. The next thing we say const cause require cause. So these are the libraries that we need. So we need Express, we need Mongos for MongoDB connection, and we need cause to enable the front end talk with the back end. So it will give permission like, okay, let this pupil or let this person get data from here, right? So these are the three things we need at this level. So the next thing we say, we initialize our app. We say const app is equals Express, right? So say const app is Express. So the next thing here we say what kind of app. So we say app, right, dot use cause. Okay, so we say app.use cause. So we are saying that this app should use cause to protect the back end, right? So the next thing we say app.use. So we say express.json, right? So we say express.json. Then we need to deal with the MongoDB database. So at this level we say mongos.connect we connect. So we give it the database, right? So we say mongos.connect, and this is the database. We close it right here. Okay, so at the next line we say then we say console.log MongoDB is connected. So what this does is that it will check if the MongoDB database is connected. It will say, then you should say it is connected. That is, if it is connected, say it is connected. What if something happened and then this database does not connect in situations like this? So what if something happens? So we say let it catch an error. So say catch error. So in this line you say if the database does not connect, so say catch error. So we say if it does not connect, console.log error, right? So we leave it at this level. Then we go down. So at this level now, there is one thing we need to do at this level. We need to connect the route. Since it's a CRUD operation, we need to connect the route. We need to bring them in. Okay, so what we will do is to say route, right? Route. Okay, so for this route we'll say let's say something const, right? Student, what route are we using? Student route. Okay, so this is the route we need. Student route is equal required, right? So where will it be? /route/student route, right? So this dot route, it means one directory. So this is the directory, route. It should get student route from there. So we will create the student route very soon. Okay, so then next thing we say app.use API student route. So you see, so this is what we need. So if we needed more routes, maybe like teacher's route, any other route, we could add this. But for now, this is all we need at this level. Okay, this is all we need at this level. So what we just need to say now is app. So what we need to say is app.listen. So we just say app.listen. What should it listen to? To port this port. But for me, back end, yeah, 5,000 is okay, right? 5,000 is okay. But sometimes let's put 3,000. Yeah, let's just put 3,000. So when we do this, let me remove this from here, and then I say console. Okay, so I say console.log. Port is running on 3,000. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we are in the back end, so we say node server.js, right? So we see nothing is here right now. Let's run one thing, npm install. So while it is installing everything that is needed, let's come to models. Inside of models, we need to run the models. We need to create the models. So inside here, what models are we creating? We have student. So say students dot models dot json dot js, sorry, student.models.js. so this model will define the data type. What kind of data type are we working on? We have to define it right here. Okay, so what we will do here is we have to connect it. We say const mongoose requires mongoose, right? So we are importing the MongoDB database. So we say const student schema because new schema, right? So right here we say the student schema is equal to new schema. Okay, so inside this new schema, what we will we be keeping here? So we have inside the new schema, let me take this here. Okay, so we have name. I want to make it complex. I will just say name. And what name? I'll make it a string. There are other places where we will make string required, all of those stuffs, right? But right here, right now, no. And then we have email. Email will be string. The next thing we'll need to take is the student course, right? So what course is this student offering? And still it is a string, right? Okay, so we made this. So let me put these are little errors that you need to watch out for. Comma. Okay, so this is all. It's just really basic. It's just basic. So we say module. So what this does is that it exports the student schema, right? So now let me explain where many people get confused. We are saying that every data is a string. String means that, let me come down here and explain. String means that if I say, let me tap this, okay. So if I say this, you see it is mixed with numbers and words, right? You see how it is mixed. It means accept it. But if we put something like int, which means it's only an integer. So if in the case of int, then I put like this, it will reject it, because what it wants is only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is what it needs. So that is the difference. So we are done with this. This is where the real CRUD operation, it begins inside of the route. So here we will create student dot route, student dot route dot JS, right? So inside here we create student.route.js. So this should make sure it matches what we used here in student route, right? So this is the directory. Ensure that it matches what we have there exactly. So what we have here, it doesn't match. So let's make it to match. So we have student dot route, student dot route. So this is what matches what we have just created here. So I made this for you to understand why maybe sometimes your back end will not work. You are finding like some data is mismatching, because if you name this something else, you have done exactly something else. So let's come to our route. So inside of our route, what do we need to do, right? So the same process, we say const express require express, and then const router require router, and then we need to bring the models, right? We need to bring these models that we created here. We import it because remember I said it is the data type. It is the data types. So it contains everything inside is a string. Now when we have done that, we come down to create the first student route. So what we would do here is we say router dot post, and we should come to the next line. Okay. So when we say router.post, we are seeing a request and response. Let me shift this. So we say request response. So when we request and respond, what else do we need, right? So we say student. So we say student. No, const student equals new student. new student, and then we have request, right? So here we say request dot body. We say request dot body dot await student dot save Okay, so what we have done here is that we said the router should post to the database, right? I applied something here that is not supposed to work. Okay, so we say router.post. Where is it posting? To the main directory, / right? So it should assign request response. So when it has a request and response, it follows by a parameter of const student equals new student, right? So for this new student, it should request the body. Then let it wait for the student to save. And if the student save, let it respond a 201, which means it has succeeded. So we move further. And as well, we could even add some more information right here, right? So what if we take away this information? But for the purpose of demo, we will do that in future. Like we could remove this and then we put an information, maybe like student saved successfully or student created successfully. But let's leave that to be minimal for now. So let us read the students. When we have created, let us read the students. So we say let's get the students. So say router dot get. So / comma async request response okay, so we say const student await student dot find. So we are saying that it should wait for the student. So let it wait for the student. While it is searching, it will tell you should wait, let it look for it, right? So then dot find. So what will happen next? So we say request. Okay, so we say we request the student status. Okay, so let us get student by ID. When we say we are getting student by ID, means one student. We need just one student. So let's get student by ID. So we say router dot get /:id. This means that let it get students by their ID. A single, if you want to get a single person from your database, this is what it means. You get just one person from your database, right? So let us note it up here as one student, right? Here you get all students, while here we get only one student. Okay, so when you say router get student by ID, so say async request response. So when we say here that const student, it should await student find by ID. So it should request the parameters that have the student IDs. It should request only that which have the student ID. So the student that the name matches that ID, they take you. Okay. So the next thing we have to do here is, okay, we move to the next line, and then let us give a condition where there is no student. Let's give a condition where there is no student. So we say if you did operators in programming, you will know this, right? If you did operators, you will know what this is actually. This colon means that there is no student. If there is no student, it should return a 404, the status 404, student not found. Sometimes when you search something and they say that thing is not found, this is it here, all right? Student not found. So then we say we respond dot status, yeah. So if the student is not found, respond the status 200 if the student is found. But if student is not found, 404 means student not found. So if you want me to talk about the various status that are available, like 301, 303, 305, 501, 400, 502, 404, 403, and then we have 501, 502, 503, 504, and all the rest. You can let me know. I'll make a video explaining each and every one and what it actually means, what every single one of it actually means. Okay, so let us continue here. So we have created students, we have gotten students, but now we need to update students, right? You need to update maybe one student, two students, and all of that. So we say we update students. So we'll say router dot put /id async request response, right? So say const student await student, right? So this student here is supposed to be, okay, yeah, like this. What have I done? Okay, so let me clear off this. This student is supposed to be with a capital, right? So we say const student await student dot find and update. So we use the word dot find and update to find and update students. So this will look for all students or a particular student that you want to update their record, maybe to change the name or the email address. It will look for it. So let it request parameter that has ID, and then it will request the ID, the body, right? So when it finds the parameter that has the body, it should request. So we end it here. We won't need this other one, right? So okay. Now let us also add a situation where the student is not available. I've added something else. Okay. Okay. So let us say if student no, let me leave it simple like this so it doesn't get if there's no student, let it return a 404 that there is no student, like that the student you want to change is not there. Okay, then it should respond dot status student, right? And it will be the same with delete. So we'll say router dot delete, and then we are deleting, we find the student by ID, okay, and then we say await student. So it finds the student by ID and it requests the parameter that has ID. If the student is not available, it says 404. So let me explain one little thing here, what people get confused. I will start with this. So it says router. You know, the use of express is because it is a router. It helps to move from one end to another in the back end. It is actually a router. So it will say router.post to the main directory of students. Let it async, which means send and get, right? Two-way data binding. It should request or let it respond. So when it requests, it should make a response. And when it responds, let it accept the request. So we say we have a constant that is student. So this constant should always accept to create a new student. So if you look, this is capital S and this is small s. So let it create new student. In the creation of this new student, what is there? Let it request the body. And what will the body contain? This is what the body will contain. Name, which is a string. Email, which is a string. And the student's course, which is still a string. So when it has requested for all of this, let it wait till the student saves in the database. So when it saves and the database says yes, I have received, then it can continue. It's the same thing here with getting students. So it's a router.get, say go and get me students, right? So when it goes to get students, you'll see here that it says wait. So the constant students should wait till it responds to the students. Okay. So I added an S here. Let me take it out. Okay. Students. So let me see. No. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. So it will request here. Okay. So in this case, okay, so as we can see, our back end is up and running, right? So the next thing we'll have to do is we start with our front end. So the next thing we have to do is start with our front end. So with the front end is in Angular, and we'll be looking at things like reactive forms. Okay, we'll look at stuff like reactive forms, all the types of forms in Angular. So those are some of the things we will be doing in Angular, looking at reactive forms, what they are, and stuff like that. So we'll look at that in another video. Okay, we'll look at that in part 2 of this video.